Hi guys, welcome back. This is Flosstube number 19. Today is January 4th, 2023, and I'm going to be talking about all the stuff that I stitched in the last 2 weeks. So this is going to be the final 2 weeks of 2022. I'm going to finish with my New Year's start, which I did on January 1st. So how are you? I hope you had a good New Year's and you're feeling good about this new year. I'm feeling just kind of like, oh, it's a new year? Okay. So anyway, I've been really enjoying everything I'm stitching on. So you guys know that my regular kind of format for my Flosstube, we're going to talk about my works in progress, which I call whips. We're going to discuss a little bit of haul if I have any, and then we're going to talk plans and pick a random project for me to work on in the next 2 weeks. If you want to see my end of year recap for Flosstube, I have one for all the nail polishes I reviewed in 2022. I have a full best of 2022 polishes video. You can watch that recap. It's not very long. And then the same kind of length, I think, for the Flosstube video. It just talks about everything, not talks about, it's more of like a slideshow where you can just look at everything that I stitched on in 2022. So if it's a whip that I didn't put my needle to, it's not included. But yeah, if you want to watch those, you can check that out. Those are the two most recent videos on my channel. So today we're going to be talking about specifically just the last 2 weeks. So first we're going to look at my works in progress. I had a couple new starts, couple not new starts, but I really want to work on the whips that I already have this year. Maybe not so many new starts. You guys know I started all the things in the last 9 months because I was having my renaissance with cross stitching after being pretty much a lifelong stitcher and just not bringing it to the forefront of my activities that helped me with anxiety in the last, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 years as much as before, and now it really does. So I'm very excited about lots of projects. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the things that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks. I think the first pattern that I got back out after my last regular Flosstube was Winter Rose Manor by Brenda G. I love this pattern. I feel myself becoming a Brenda Gervais superfan. This is actually a piece of 32 count Murano, I think, and I'm stitching it 1 floss over 2, and I'm really loving 1 floss. It feels really small. Like it feels even smaller than 32 count maybe. And the holes are pretty tight, so I decided to just go with the 1 floss, and I'm really loving it. I'm stitching with the called for over dies, and this is a piece that I hand dyed. And so last time you saw I had done all of this down to here, and then the little flowers, I kind of stopped right there, but then the bottom of the border continues all the way across, and then all the way up on this side, and then I hadn't done these little diamonds last time either, and then this emblem, and these trees, and I started in here. I mean, I was just living for this project. You guys know that I get kind of bored and I don't stick with something for very long, so I think I only did maybe 2.5 more days on this guy. I had more time to stitch during winter break than I usually do. I took the whole time off of work. So, yeah, love this project. I'm probably going to put it away for a little bit and see if it calls to me, but it's not seasonally what I'm going to be interested in stitching for the next little bit, but I'll see if it calls to me because I really enjoyed this. So, here's what I got done on Winter Rose Manor. I believe in my last Flosstube I mentioned my plan to start my first in a series of heritage samplers, and I had picked this one from Carraige House Samplings. This is Matter's Choice. You saw this in my recap, my Flosstube 2022 recap, so you already kind of saw this progress, but in case you didn't watch that video, it shows everything that I put my needle on this year. So this pattern is just so cute, and I've put it on this piece of gray. It has gray and like purpley gray, blending through here, and then it has quite a lot of big splashes on it. And I don't know if the pattern is even going to go down far enough to really hit too much of that, but we'll just see. So anyway, this is stitched with some Mrs. Sadis silk and Mrs. Sadasi Mas, and this is in the color Rouge, and I'm loving it. It's not a super highly variegated floss. It does have some variegation, but it's just so lovely to stitch with, and here's how far I got. I'm going to share with you what polish I have on today, because it kind of goes with this pattern and fabric. This is the Gift of Prometheus. This is my January 2023 polish pickup exclusive, which will be available this weekend only at polishpickup.com. And we have a Greek mythology theme. And I'll put up another picture here that I have from a swatcher that shares a little bit better what this polish looks like. But if you're interested in this polish, I'll put the information in the description box as well. I also put some more stitches in on my first day of Christmas from Hello from Liz Matthews. Here's how it will look eventually. I am not going to stitch it on the plain white. I'm going to do the whole series of 12 on this piece of 46 count that I've hand dyed. And I think the whole thing's going to fit on there. She has a Facebook group which has a template on there for if you want to stitch them all together, so you could go check that out. I'm stitching it with the called for DMCs, and I liked it way better this time than the last time I stitched on this. So as I said in the video, I wanted to stay accountable to what I said. I brought the border all the way around. And then I started in on the bird down here and this leaf, like I said I was going to, and was really, really enjoying that. So I think I got the whole wing done for that. So I've seen, I think on Handwork Maniac's video where she finishes out 2020, oh, I think it's a whip parade. She has 2 and a bit done. So that was very encouraging to see. Every time I look at this though, I'm like, I need to measure this and just make sure it's all going to fit across, because it's going to go 3 across and 4 down. She has like 1 through 7 released so far. In case you're interested in these, I think they're adorable. The next project that I stitched on was the piece that we randomly chose together. Do you guys remember what it was? From my Mania, my 2022 Mania, it was my Garden Prelude by Mirabilia. I really love this. I love it so much more than the first time I stitched on it, but I mean, in my defense, I really hadn't stitched that much at all. I had mostly put in like these greens right here, and then this time, as you can see, I did a lot more in on it. I started working with some of the variegated, the Carraige water lilies here, and those are just really beautiful. I think, yeah, this is all one floss. That many shades of purple in there, that's all just one floss. The rest of these, I believe so far, have been DMC with the exception of this guy up here. This is also a Carraige water lilies. Anyway, I really love it. I feel like I'm stitching a Maleficent piece because of this so far, but then we're getting over into her dress. This is, I believe, her back. That right there is like the curve of her back, I think. She has like these little bits of dark going up the back of her dress. Here, let me show you. So this, working on it this time has made me, it's like turning me into a Mirabilia lover, which I didn't think was me. I just didn't think that was my vibe, but I really, really love this. The floss is chosen, the content matter. I really, really enjoy it. So the only thing I don't like about this is it's stitched on 32 and it's 2 threads. And that's how I started the pattern. If I were starting this from scratch now, a year later into my renaissance with stitching, I would probably just do 1 thread. I prefer 1 thread so much more. But it is what it is. It's very like puffy and full looking, and sometimes I just feel like I'm overfilling my squares. But in any case, I really love it. So I'm so happy that we chose this last week for me to work on, and I can't wait for it to get picked again. And I do have, as you guys have seen in my haul, I do have a few other Mirabilias. I'm not going to start them until this is done, but I do have them. And I'm learning they're just really delightful to stitch on. This next piece was my Christmas Day start, and this one is really special. It's stitched on a piece of fabric that my friend Heidi dyed for me, and it has so much purple and beautiful colors in it. I think I only stitched on this for a couple days though, because I just have a problem because I want to stitch on all the things. But I really, really love it, and yeah, I was really pleased with working on this piece. I was surprised at how many colors there are, and I think I mentioned that last time. Each one of these letters in this alphabet are going to be different colors, so it's going to be a very colorful piece. Really enjoying it so far. This is a piece of 40 count. I'm using the called for DMCs. This is a Hands Across. Did I say what this was? This is Memories of the Past by Hands Across the Sea, a PDF digital download. And look at this little guy. He looks like a little dude. It doesn't look like a flower to me. It looks like a little man with a pink hat. It's like a little alien man. So super loving this. This border is stunning. I really, really like that. So in any case, that is my that's my start on Memories of the Past by Hands Across the Sea. The final project that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks was my New Year's New Start. And this is a Chatelaine. Can you tell from this much work done? This is the one called Holland Mandala. And I'll put a picture up on the screen because I have the image turned around. So I'll just, instead of making a bunch of rustly noise, I'll put the picture up there. Anyway, this is so delightful. Okay, so you're just looking at MPIs right now. I think, is that only 2 MPIs? This has an extensive, like, so many beautiful, it's MPIs, Gloriana's, Dinky Dyes, water lilies, silken colors, and then there's all the beads and the rainbow threads and stuff. But I can't afford to get them all ahead of time. Plus, there's no like one-stop shopping for this stuff. You have to go hunt them at all different places. So I basically picked like 10 flosses that I could find, and I have them, and I'm starting in the middle, and then I'm going to work my way down to the left. So actually you can see this faint line here. I stitched in this border because I thought it was the same color as this blue, but the symbol is actually a little bit different, so I had to pick that out. Anyway, this is all I've started on it because of the floss that I purchased to start this pattern. Only 2 of them are actually in the center of the mandala. So I'm learning as I go. I'm loving it because these flosses are so lovely. I really love stitching with MPIs. I don't know what I was thinking when I kitted this up, thinking that this pattern would fit on that piece of 40 count that I had dyed blue to go with this. It's not going to fit. I don't know what I was thinking. It's 333 by 333, and there would have, I don't even think there would have been a margin on a, it was a fat quarter that I had. So yeah, that wasn't going to work. So actually I pulled out this, I pulled out some 18 count plain crunchyata. I don't love that it's plain crunchyata, but I feel like it's going to be good for this piece. If I just keep telling myself it'll be fine, I would prefer to stitch on some hand-dyed linen, but the other reason why I was like, wait, I shouldn't be stitching this on 40 count is because it has a whole bunch of beads. That's why I made the decision that I did. And so far, like these 2 colors together, I'm living for that. So really, really beautiful. I didn't get very much progress yet because I'm waiting for more flosses to come in. So you'll see more progress on this soon. All right, so those were my whips. Next, we're going to look at haul. I do have a little bit of haul. I have my Be Stitch Me fabric of the month, which I'm going to show you first. And then I picked up a few patterns over the last 2.5-ish weeks. So I'm going to share those with you now. To start out haul, this is my Be Stitch Me for December piece, I think. It is a lovely rainforest green. It's very blue leaning. And then it does have some patches of more warmth in there. And this one is called Evergreen. It's from Be Stitch Me. And here's the stats on that. So that is my fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me. I picked up a few patterns from Abby Rose Designs sometime in the last 2 weeks. And this one is Springtime. And her patterns are giving me like a very Plum Street Samplers vibe. And you know how much I love Plum Street. It's like Plum Street mixed with Brenda G almost here. So these are real cute. I also have Thankful Hearts. And I saw this designer on somebody's Flosstube. I wish I could remember who so I could mention it to you. This one's called For Where Your Treasure Is. It says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So just really cute, a cute designer that I hadn't tried yet, so I figured I'd pick up a few and give them a go. I really, really like this one. This one's called Bluebirds Sampler. Speaking of Plum Street, you guys know I'm a Plum Street super fan, and so I grabbed some of their new patterns. Some have arrived and some aren't here yet. This is Sunflower House. I think that they released 3 new ones recently. This is not a new one, but I picked it up at the same time that I was shopping for the other ones. And of the new ones, this one's here so far, and this one's called My Heart's Welcome. And is she holding a pineapple? I mean, that is so cute. Is that supposed to be a pineapple, you guys? Anyway, so there's that little adorable small. I also picked up a few patterns from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, and I love all the houses. This is Pumpkin House, but I love all of them. So I will probably end up getting all of them. It's just so adorable. And here's the other one that I got. I can't remember who's stitching this. A number of people probably. Little Red Schoolhouse Pin Keep, 1862. This is probably too small for my Heritage sampler wall, but that would be perfect. At some point I was picking up some more 40 count Zweigart, and I threw a few other things in my basket. This is Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve. Look at that cute Santee. There's actually words here that you can't hardly see. I've seen everyone and their chipmunks stitching on this, and so I just had to get it. It had been sitting in my 1, 2, 3 wish list for a long time, and so I snapped it up from Rosewood Manor, and I did not get the Valdanis to go with it, although those look gorgeous. And the final bit of haul that I want to share with you today, I got the Sweet Land of Liberty book from Blackbird Designs primarily for this piece. Somebody is stitching on this, and I don't have really any patriotic projects going right now, and so I just thought I should really start that. It's really appealing to me, and I think it would be fun to stitch like on the 4th of every month or something. So you've probably all seen what's inside this book. It's not a new book, so I'll let you go Google it instead of doing a flip through, but that's the one that I'm really interested in. Here it is, full size. So, isn't that stunning? Oh, so pretty. I'm going to share with you a few floss tubes that I've been watching and enjoying lately. I just found, I think yesterday, the Nightly Stitcher. I definitely had heard her mentioned before, just never watched a video, and I was watching her floss tube number 17. And she is using a great camera and has some wonderful light source there, so it's really easy to see what she's working on, and really, really beautiful when she pulls the pattern in really, or the piece that she's working on really close to the camera, and I really like that because I want to see up close and personal on the work. So if you can't tell by the way that I film my floss tube, that's what I really like. I really like being able to see very clearly what's going on. So I really like her. That's the Nightly Stitcher. You guys, of course, by now probably know, my very favorite go-to floss tubes that I really, really love. So I'm trying to mention some new folks that I've just recently started watching. Oh, Emily C. I just watched her Flosstube 109. She shared all of her 2022 starts. I really liked her. Pretty much everything that she was stitching on, I went, ooh, that would be really fun to stitch on. So if you find that your stitchy interests kind of align with mine, you will probably really like her. So I'll link those couple channels down in the description bar below. So now that we've done whips and haul, we're going to talk about plans for this next 2 weeks, which I plan to do some full coverage stitching. I put down my spring montage and my Haid piece for a long time during all my seasonal stitching, and I've missed it. When I was doing my recap video of the year of Flosstube, I was like, oh, I really miss that diagonal parking and those 2 pieces. So I'm going to be picking back up for sure spring montage. And then I want to be working on whips the next couple weeks. I don't want to start any new starts, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to work some more on my Heritage sampler, the Matter's Choice that I just shared with you this week. I want to work on that some more. And when my flosses come in for the Chatelaine piece, I want to put in some more stitches on that as well because I'm really loving that. And then we're going to pick a random project right now. So let's see what else this week has in store for me. It's time to pick our random project for me to work on this next 2 weeks. And I'm going to use a random generator to help me choose because you guys know I love a random generator. So I'm going to put in 17 here for the number. And let's see what we get. Number 2. Number 2 is Halloween This Way. You guys, I have been so surprised that nothing has been re-rolled. So this is the Primitive Hair Signs that I have done very, very little on. It's on a 32 count piece, or 30 count from the Primitive Hair. So I'm really excited that that got drawn this week because I haven't worked on that since Mania. So yay! All right, so that'll be really fun. A little bit of Halloween stitching in January, but I haven't stitched on that since Mania. So that'll be good. All right, so we have the plans. We know what we're going to be doing, and there's always a little room for me to throw in something that I'm just feeling in the moment because that's how I like to do. I actually got a puzzle done, you guys. A lot of my stress relief activity that I was doing like for the past year that wasn't stitching, I was doing puzzles, and I have like a whole puzzle wall in my basement, and I had a puzzle out probably right around the time that I started Flosstube. I had started this puzzle and I couldn't get the borders to match up, so I was just kind of like aggravated with it, and I had sorted all the pieces into colors, but I hadn't started putting it together besides the border because I was aggravated, and then I got really into my cross stitching again, and I just kind of, it just sat there on the puzzle table for a long time. And over the Christmas break, I finished my puzzle and I got it up on the wall, and it's, I can put a picture of it in here, but it's like a stained glass. It's Disney. I'll show you my puzzle wall too. It's all Disney stuff. If you follow me on my channel, you've already seen this, but yeah, it's really fun. And I had a space for it that I wanted it to go, and it was just like an empty spot on the wall for a long time. So I'm happy that that's done too. Okay. I think that's everything for this video. I hope you have a fantastic stitchy week. Let me know in the comments below what your plans are for 2023. Do you have some exciting new things you want to start, or are you going to be trying to finish up a lot of things you have previously started? It's so hard when our favorite designers release new projects that we just, I need to be stitching on that right now. But, you know, do what makes you happy. Do what helps your mental health. Do what helps you feel good. And I hope you have a fantastic next couple of weeks. I'll see you back for another Flosstube in 2 weeks. Take care until then. Bye.